All right, we have Ron in the house, Ron Bracken from Sunflower Solar Panels. How you doing today, boss?
Pretty good. It's EDLSolar.
Close enough. He said Sunflower. I changed your name.
That's fine.
But that's okay. You won't get a bill. So, hey, last, kind of refresh us, me included. First, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you're doing it.
Oh, well, I'm Ron Bracken, inventor of the Enviro Design Laboratories, as we call it, the Sunflower. It's a revolutionary form of photovoltaic solar. That's the type of solar that produces electricity. And we've figured out a way to reduce the size of it from a conventional solar system by 80% or more, while maintaining the same efficiencies and outputs.
Mm-hmm.
Also make it transportable, rugged, repairable, upgradable. Oh, and by the way, save you about 40% of the price.
Okay. So with that, so what you're basically saying is all those panels that you have on your roof, you can actually get rid of them?
You're not getting rid of them. What I have
Replacing
done is come up with a new way of configuring them.
Mm-hmm.
With my invention, and what our patent is on, is something called what we call trap light technology, which is the heart of the Sunflower. It reutilizes the uncaptured light that is reflected back from flat panel solar arrays back up into the atmosphere. Take a typical flat panel array. Say, for argument's sake, the photocells inside of that array are 15% energy efficient. Yes, some probably a little bit more, but make
Some
math
a little
easy.
bit less.
Yeah. So what happens to the other 85%?
I'd use 10%. It's easier.
Well, anyway, what do
hate
you
math.
use with the other 90%?
Yeah, well-
The 85%. What happens to it?
I didn't know it went anywhere.
It goes right back up into the sky.
Okay.
Why not take that 85% and reutilize it?
So if
That's-
it's leaving, how do you recapture it?
We capture it and focus it right back onto the next joining photocell. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Go ahead.
If I'm following you, Ron, basically what you're doing is reflecting light from one photocell to another. Is that kind of what it's doing?
Sorta. It's a little bit more involved in that, but to the average person, yes, that's what it looks like is going on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this, Dave, is there not only the 40% cost reduction, but rather than having a huge, massive array that has to be mounted to a house, can now be a hazard in high winds, and we had some relatively high winds here just the last couple of days. This is something that is a very stable cube, and if you decide that you're going to move and sell your home or move to another location, you just unplug it from your power panel and you take it with you. You can't do that with the existing solar arrays that are on most homes.
You're absolutely right. Well, and when you say unplug it from your panel,
the power panel where you would normally get your electric service,
you're just talking about your service panel.
from the utility
Yes,
company.
your main circuit breaker panel
Okay.
next to it.
So you have to. It's interesting that you're bringing this up because you guys know I've always been trying to figure out a way to, mainly in an emergency situation. I've got some generators that I bought them either used or not, and they're a pain. And then we had our conversation with the Sunflower, and I thought, this might be the trick. And then we never went any farther with it. So then I was just interviewing Honda. No, I was at the Honda Museum, and they were showing me a 7-kilowatt generator, quiet generator. They can plug up the whole, charge, run the whole house.
Right.
So I thought, And they said the same thing. You just have your panel, you have a plug-in. Is that basically the same thing?
Identical.
Except one's going to burn gas and yours is burning sun.
Exactly.
See how simple I made that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
KISS, keep it simple, stupid, which is my acronym.
That's my middle name.
So we recently got a solar survey done on our house because
Okay.
my last month's SDG&E bill was $508.
Ouch.
So they told us 21 panels to suit our needs.
That's about a 5.5 system.
I live in Santee. We run our air conditioning to keep
That costs you about $12,500.
$21,000
No,
actually.
my system will cost you about
That's what I was
$12,500.
going to ask you, is how your price would compare to them.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm very interested.
And you go to Home Depot, take your pickup truck to Home Depot, buy it, throw it in the back of your pickup truck, take it home, and plug it in.
Neat. That's really neat.
you sell them at Home Depot?
Well, we're planning on marketing through big box retailers.
Hey, have you gone through Shark Tanks?
No, I have not.
Buddy of mine just went through it.
Really? How do you do?
He's fat.
He's fat. Did he get eaten or?
No. He had an idea, and he's been beating his head against the wall for years. Mm-hmm. And what this is it's a you know what? Let's take a break. I'll just tell you off air because it's not green. Because he's going to be on KUSI, so y'all can watch.
Oh, okay.
So Hollywood, we're going to take a small break. Right here on KCBQ AM 1170. I'm Dave.
I'm Alex.
I'm Ron.
I'm Marshall.
And we will be back.
Intelligent Talk, 1170 KCBQ, San Diego.
Well, I was rolling down the road in some cold blue steel. I had a blues man on the back and a beautician out the wheel. We're going downtown in the middle of the night. We're laughing and I'm joking and we're feeling alright. Oh, I'm back.
Folks, hey, welcome back. You're listening to the Green Machine Radio Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Alex.
I'm Ron.
And I'm Marshall.
And this segment's brought to you by Express Auto Service, 7633 El Cajon Boulevard in La Mesa, 619-463-1484. Express Auto will take care of all your automotive needs as they do mine. ExpressAutoservice.com. Talk to Connie or Dave, and they will take good care of you. We have been sitting here chatting with Ron Bracken, and we've been talking about a solar system that he has engineered, designed, and patented. And from what it sounds like, this is a unit not unlike your dish system. Once you move, you take it with you. You don't have to leave it on the house. And we've talked about this before. It's been a portable unit. Now, before we went to break, Marshall was mentioning that he needs 22 panels?
21 panels.
21 panels was an estimate that he was given. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's no way on God's earth he can lift 21 panels and move them around. So it's got to be installed. It's got to be bolted down. So if he came to you with the same survey and you knew what you had to do, what could you do for Marshall that would not constitute all this equipment?
Well, power requirement. You have to take that as a given.
Right.
Okay. He's needing 5.5 kW. That's the size of the system. That's pretty much an average system. Mm-hmm. And that's what our 16-cell panel's built around. And he would just need a configuration of, actually, it's like, not getting too technical, but two 1.5 and two 1.0 sunflowers. They piggyback together. Literally, they just snap together. It's about the size of this desk. He plops it in his backyard in a warm, sunny spot, reaches over and plugs it in. Mm-hmm. And he goes to a big box retailer. We haven't identified which ones yet, but hopefully some. Mm-hmm. And takes his pickup truck there and buys it and take it home. And it'll cost him about $12,500 instead of
$21,500. That's after the government rebate.
Yeah, that's after the rebates.
Now,
right.
Is your product government rebatable?
Yes, it is. Or we're planning on it. Mm-hmm. To do that, that's a perfect segue. Thank you.
Think nothing of it.
Okay.
That's why I'm here.
Right now, with EDL and our sunflower technology and the solar system project that we're working on, we are in a phase of capitalization right now. And what we're doing, and I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this before or not, but it's called
crowdfunding.
Yeah, crowdfunding. There's a couple websites. One's called Kickstarter. Maybe you've heard of that. And the other one's Indiegogo. Well, I'm kind of giving you an exclusive here. But on the 26th, we are kicking off an $800,000 campaign on Indiegogo. And here's what the exclusive is. The kickoff time is 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So what we're urging for everybody to do is to go to our website, and hopefully I can give that. But
Sure, go ahead.
EDLSolar.com. Pick up the link to Indiegogo, and we just need to get as many number of hits on that website as we possibly can, because that drives the presence of the website higher, gets more exposure, and makes it so that we can hit our realization. What this capitalization is for, and to get back into what your question was, is we need to start building what's called first article units. Those are actual production units built with production tooling that end up going to your favorite buddies called UL. Of course, if you're in Europe, it's VDE, or Canada, it's CSA. Also to second party or third party validations. That's so that we can go to the bank, get the funding for the warranties, put all that together, boom, we're ready to go in production. We're looking from the time this campaign closes, 6 to 9 months, you'll see this product on your shelves at the stores.
Okay. Well, with that being said, let's kind of go back into feasibility and what will the consumer expect. I'm going to go back to Marshall's again because I'm kind of thinking of to plug into a panel. Does it have to be any special plug?
Yes, which is supplied by us.
Okay.
Okay, both the male and the female. It's a special, if you're familiar with military applications, it's a cannon plug.
Oh, yes, I know that.
Which means the minute it's separated, it kills power at both ends.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because you don't want 230 volts flying around loose in the backyard. Okay. Anyway, we supply both ends. For net metering, like in California, where you got to pump power back to PG&E, SDG&E, Sempra, who gets it all anyway.
Yeah, they're not giving you any money.
Anyway, yeah, trust me. But you have to have that. So we're giving that to the consumer. You will have to have a licensed electrician to install that.
Of course.
You're talking about 30 minutes worth of labor to install that thing, and we furnish the materials.
Okay. Next question. I'm going to throw another little tiny negative because it just dawned on me when you said that, of course, you have to have a commercial electrician put it in. And so I'm imagining this unit out in the backyard. And what about safety? I mean, what's going to keep, say a dog came over and started chewing on the cable.
The minute that cable is disrupted, that's part of the cannon plug circuitry. Boom, it kills.
So it doesn't
everything.
barbecue my Rottweilers?
It doesn't barbecue your Rottweiler or the fireman trying to put the fire out in your house or anybody else.
Okay, now, I think last time we chatted, you could just lay it on the ground next to the house.
Yes.
I mean, as long as it's in the sun.
As long as it's in a bright, sunny spot.
How many hours?
Well, how much electricity do you want to produce?
All of it?
Well, then you got to keep it in the sunny spot.
All the time. So you move to Arizona. No, I'm only kidding.
No, that's not true.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying your normal sun. I mean, like in our, and I have to use my house because I don't know what tent he lives in. But the sun, runs east to west, and my house sits, and the sun runs right along the side of the south side of the house.
Then you got a perfect spot.
This other solar guy said I had to cut my tree down. I said, I ain't cutting my tree down. I'll cut your tree down. But it's because I watched the sun. It looked to me like, but now if I can maneuver this thing, how long a cord?
Well, it's not really something that you're going to want to move around.
Once it's in, it's in.
Well, it's
you-
the size of this desk, okay?
I'll put wheels on mine.
Actually, we're actually thinking about putting handlebars on.
I'd put handlebars.
For the biker
wheels.
crowd, right?
What the heck?
Yeah. For those listening at home, the desk is about 4x8.
Yeah, right. Give or take.
The fun thing about this is the prototype that I've had firsthand experience experimenting with is we had it on a little wheeled dolly, and we were rotating this 360 degrees and trying to put it in all sorts of different angles. As long as it stayed in the bright sunlight, the efficiency output of it changed very little,
didn't change
very little at all, and
No,
that's
less
the
than
benefit.
10%.
That's the light trapping technology at work.
Yeah, it
And
desensitizes it to azimuth. Remember that from the last time we were here?
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, what's the downside? Why isn't the public just beating a path to your door? What's your obstacle there? Are you just because you're up against big corporations?
No, we just are trying to get funding to get it there, and we are, of course, maybe naive or just full of ourselves. But well, let's put it this way: the United States market last year was $211 billion. We want 15% our first year.
And your biggest thing is, I mean, you got the idea, you got the plans, you got the patent. Now you just need somebody to help you. You need to go to Shark Tank.
Yeah, or like we're doing is going to this crowdsourcing because it's non-dilutive to the corporation.
Right. Yeah. Well, from the financial aspect of it, I'm in the dark. I don't have.
Well,
a clue.
that's why I have a gentleman by the name of Johannes Johansson, who, by the way, happens to be Swedish.
I would have never guessed that.
You know, the greatest MBA I've ever come across. I tell you what, this guy. You know, I'm the nuts and bolts guy in this thing.
Well, that's what you
know.
need. Surround yourself with smart people.
Hey, he's the business guru on this thing.
So here's my next thought, because I think I even said this to you last time, and every solar company I've said this to, they all look at me like I'm crazy. I don't want you on the roof of my house.
Good, throw it in the backyard.
Thank you very much. I want a carport.
I know, you said
Remember
that last
that?
time. And you know something? I went to Washington, D.C. or not D.C., excuse me, San Francisco,
Yeah.
to a solar show like the week after that.
How many carports?
Oh, there's a bazillion of them.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Because, I mean, even your system, even it's only a 4x8, so you got a little patio over the back door, as long as the sun's running back and forth.
You got it.
Not to dilute his message, but I saw a system that snapped together and it became your driveway. You could even drive
Oh,
on it.
you're talking solar roadways, Killamoose?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that's it. You know, that is, and good things. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a terrific idea. I honestly do. I think it's a viable idea. However, we don't have trillions upon trillions and generations to implement this.
Mm-hmm.
What's nice about the sunflower system, it's inexpensive, and we're doing it now. And our corporate credo is make every individual on this planet energy independent.
Right. Now, next thing I'll throw out there, because I ended up getting this deionized watering system from a guy and I've used it once. Shows you how much I wash my cars. And one of the reasons I got it, well, not one of the reasons because I don't have solar, but one of the reasons he was telling me is that the solar panels themselves need to be kept clean.
Yes, they do.
Because, especially if you get, rainwater that's got hard minerals and what have you. And if you leave that alone, it'll degenerate your power source.
Deteriorate, yeah.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. How about yours?
Well, ours is inside of an enclosure. Now, on top of the enclosure, there is a clear panel covering it. So, yeah, you've got to come out and wash your desk once every 2 months or so.
Watch your desk. That's good, man. Okay. Well, and like I said, and if you're going to wash it,
and ours is down on the ground, so you don't have to crawl up on the roof.
I was just going to say, it needs to be someplace where you can get at it. Because ever since the guy, gave me the system, every time I see somebody's solar panels, I go, yeah, how are you going to clean those? I mean, 2-story houses, super pitch, the whole nine yards.
And that's the beauty of this. He just spray it off with a garden hose, and then if you have a little squeegee or one of those California water blades like we've seen in the automotive industry, just wipe it clean, let it air dry, and you're
Guess
done.
what? Get deionized water system.
You don't even have to do that. Then you're just spraying it off and letting it air dry.
And I tell you what, this guy, you talk about, I run it, we do a lot of helping of people here, and this guy came out. You've seen car dealerships?
Sure.
Washing cars with all those tanks in the back of the truck? Well, that's deionized water.
Right, DI water.
He made one this big.
Really?
It's only like 2-3 feet tall. Gives you 300 washes. And you just hook it to your garden hose and into one end, and and he even gives you the hose and the outlet. And
Is he doing it with fluorescence or?
no, little blue canisters with stuff in the middle of. I don't know what the heck he's using. All I know is it works. I was just totally blown away. But it was another invention that he came up with, and I'm telling you, if everybody thinks we're done inventing, you guys are crazy.
No.
There is too much other stuff. Hey, we got to take a quick break, and we come back. more, EDLSolar.com. Go check that website out. And go check out Goozy Gizzy, or whatever that thing.
Just go to our website, Indiegogo, but it's
Indiegogo.
EDLSolar.com.
Tickle something later. I don't know. Hey,
Think of San Diego with an extra bill.
there you go. I even like that better. We're going to take a small break. When we come back, more right here on Green Machine Radio.
Stood a log cabinet of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good, who never ever learned to read or write so well. He could play a guitar just like he's ringing a bell. Go, go, Johnny, go.
Intelligent Talk, 1170 KCBQ.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Green Machine Radio Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Alex.
I'm on.
And I'm Marshall.
And we've been sort of sitting around here chatting solar. Ron has been in before. Go to EDLSolar.com. Take a look at the website. You might be pleasantly surprised. It might fit a situation you're in. Maybe a motorhome, a trailer, because maybe you live in a small area, or maybe you're even out in the woods and you don't have a lot of access to electricity. This thing might be the way to go. Ron's goal with his team is to get everybody free power that you don't have to keep paying again and again and again. Because in your system, once it's purchased, it's done.
It's done.
And then, what kind of warranty?
Well, that's one thing that we're going through this fundraising for, is we have to go to the banks. We're shooting for an industry standard warranty, which is 25 years.
Good. Okay. Now, you were chatting off air. A couple things that you wanted to chat about. Something about the Red Cross?
Well, yes. On this Indiegogo campaign that's kicking off on the 26th.
How do you spell that?
INDIGOGO.
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.com.
Okay, don't forget the .com.
Yeah.
Go take a look at that.
Yeah. Anyway, one thing that we're doing on this campaign is these campaigns are set up where you have a goal or milestone in dollars that you want to achieve. Once you achieve that, most people that go on these campaigns just keep raking in the bucks. Well, my partner and I, Johannes, kind of set back and go, well, that's cool to have all that extra cash, and I'm sure we could always find some use for it, but is that really the right thing to do? So what we have come up with is for every dollar that we receive over what our goal is, we're giving back dollar for dollar in product disaster relief, because we already have a disaster relief unit in prototype at this time for the American Red Cross. Because of that, the San Diego Imperial County Red Cross has stepped up. I'd like to shout out a personal name, if that's okay.
Sure.
Susie Turnbull, she's the director of their disaster relief. They're 1,000% behind us, jumping through hoops, skating on skateboards. This gal is a Wonder Woman.
Yeah, bring her in sometime.
Would love to have her
we're
come in.
more than happy to do it.
Yeah.
Well, giving back is everything. I've said it once. I've said it 1 billion times, and people get tired of hearing it, but a penny to a million, I don't care. Penny to a million. If you're not giving something back, get off the planet.
Yeah.
Because you're wasting my time.
Well, you never know when you might need it.
And all you have to do is think, what you can do to give back. And you're right, I mean, and the key to what I see in your product is once we get down the road with it, even that $12,000 price tag could drop.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get to the point where you've got some working capital that you can advance your R&D and let's face it, you're in the industry. How many times does this industry change?
Oh, hourly.
Daily? Okay, I was going to say hourly. No, I agree with you 100%.
Well, no. Well, let's put it this way. Up until about 2 years ago, the largest portion of the cost of installing flat panel solar systems was the cost of engineering and the panels. And then it kind of flipped out here not too long ago, a couple of years ago, to where what's called the balance of system, or the BOSS. That's all the structural framework, that spider web of wiring, inverters, and all that nonsense became the most expensive part. Now it's the labor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the prices really haven't come down. They've just kind of been on the revolving door as far as which one's taking. But in all that time, the actual cost of the photo panels has been drop. And that's what's nice about our system is because we do have the same price for photo panels. I mean, you got to pay for cells and glass and wiring and that. You can't change that. But you don't have all that spaghetti nonsense of all the wiring, all that erector set of trying to scaffold the thing up. And the labor is, like I said before, you throw it in your pickup truck, find a warm, sunny spot, plop it on the ground, plug it in. So you've done away with that labor.
Right. No, exactly. So now this system doesn't. Okay, so the only thing that needs a permit is not the system, it's installing the unit to plug the system into the house.
Installing the plug-in.
Okay, yeah.
Now, what if I want to put it on my roof?
You can.
But you still have to get a licensed electrician to attach it to your power source.
You want to put it up on top of your neighbor's pine tree, you could do that too.
No, I don't like my neighbor.
Okay, well, maybe your own.
And a lot of people, I've actually known guys trying to install their own, solar systems.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not the solar system so much, but the power, well, not solar, I take that back. The guy had a car charger like I've got, and he went ahead and put it in himself.
Sure.
Yeah, what are you, crazy?
Well, you can go on the internet, eBay, and buy these kits to build car chargers, little 18-volt battery chargers.
But then, of course, when the city came out, he got gigged.
Yeah, well.
Well, because he doesn't know. He was just doing what he thought was right.
Yeah.
Well, again, and we've talked about this in the past, is what about a smaller unit for smaller applications?
Oh, well, ours is totally scalable. All the way from the millivolt system, like little cell phone battery chargers, like a backpacker could, put on his top of his helmet or on the back of his back. And, you're talking literally something the size of a matchbook.
I see.
Okay. All the way up to the megawatt systems, which is your huge solar farms. The technology is the technology.
Yeah.
It works.
Alex already knows where I'm going.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about the tough sheds? And I wanted a panel in front of each one of them with a wire going to a 12-volt or I was thinking an RV deep cell battery.
Yeah.
And then from there, I guess, to all my plugs.
Well, let's put it this way. For our Indiegogo campaign is sort of a proof of that it works type deal. I've made up something called a whiz bang, which Alex hadn't had an opportunity to come and look at it yet. But on one small system, I'm powering 300 watts worth of car tail lights that are flashing in sequence at you. Okay, and that's straight off the solar system.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, I'll bet you if you think about it, all these guys have got shops and workstations and what have you that don't have electricity. The only times they can work out there is during the day.
Sure.
I think a small little unit, that you could attach, let's say, to a Tough Shed, for example. Say you hook up with Tough Shed.
What about campers?
Oh, I know.
People mobile home applications.
I know.
What about, total off-grid? What about water wells out in the middle of pasture lands? Okay. What about water wells in the middle of Ethiopia?
Anywhere.
Okay. You think they don't need water in Ethiopia?
I need it more than they do.
Okay. Well, but no. Like I'm saying, any application that has electricity
Can be
this
used.
studio, I could solarize for you.
Well, let me tell you what. El Cajon BMW.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it.
The new one?
Brand new.
Yes.
What do you think their SDG&E bill was last month?
Oh, probably in the neighborhood of $3,000 at least.
$48.
Oh, they solarized.
They solarized.
Oh.
And they are, a car dealership, folks,
Yeah.
totally solared. $46 was his bill last month.
That reminds me, I ought to get a hold of the Mossies.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Just
I
talk.
know Peter and Phil's.
Yeah, talk to Peter or Phil.
One, Jason.
Mossy, I've heard of them somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, they're down someplace.
Yeah, it's a small little group.
Yeah, another one, too, is Kaminsky down in El Cajon.
Yeah, there you go.
I know him real well, too. So he knows the kind, because once Gherkin keeps spreading it around, what his SDG&E bills, there's going to be a serious market for car dealerships.
Oh, yeah. Hey, they've got flat panels. Instead of taking up all their roofs, how about if they actually become a power generation station, and instead of paying SDG&E $48, why don't they become an actual licensed power unit.
Well, I'll give you Gherkin's information. You got to go talk to him because he's all fired up on it.
I've got a favor to ask of you. I'm sorry.
No.
1 minute.
1 minute. Oh, he was just telling me a minute.
Oh, okay.
What's the favor? I have no money.
When we get on for this Indiegogo campaign, you had made an offer before. KUSI News.
Oh, yeah.
I would love, if it's possible, to have them come out and look at the whiz bang, look at the system going.
Okay, there's where the problem is. If they come to you, you write a check.
Okay.
If you come to me, it's free.
Okay. Well, I'll come to you.
Yeah. And then all
There you go.
Then all we have. Can we still get the SR1 just for display? Oh, we got to take a break.
Yeah, we probably
we
can.
got to take a break. Nick's having a heart attack. This is the Green Machine Radio Show. We'll talk to you down the road for the You Ought to Know Show.
Green Machine Radio on KCBQ is sponsored by the Love Radio Network.